Olesya, could you speak to me about this artist you have made a book about? Remarkable Monroe. Who was he?
He was wonderful artist who used to live in St. Petersburg, in Moscow, in the last years in Bali, and who was the only artist actually in Russia who played with identity. He took his pseudonym Marilyn Monroe because he represented him quite often as a Marilyn Monroe. And he started his career in the beginning of Perestroika. And in that time, it was absolutely unusual and was even dangerous. When we first time invited him to participate in the feminist and post-feminist exhibition where he played role of Marilyn Monroe, he was accused by a TV station at that time in 1989 that he's hermaphrodite. And people started to search for him and they promised to kill him. It was actually a terrible story, and I even called to the TV station. The TV station answered, yes, he is hermaphrodite, he has to be killed. I mean, the society in the beginning of Perestroika was very brutal. Actually, the same happened now. I'm afraid that we just made the whole circle from the beginning of Perestroika till the beginning of this new aggressive time. And so Vladik made drawings, collages. For example, he turned Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was extremely popular in the beginning of Perestroika, he turned his image to Marilyn Monroe image because he announced that with Perestroika, the male aggressive sign was changed to female, more soft and more open to the culture side. Probably he was right. He even turned Gorbachev, Mikhail Gorbachev, to the Indian woman with being this sign.
But was he a political artist in a way?
In a way, he was a political artist, but his messages been very, very artistic, very funny. Like, for example, he was a star of Pirate TV, where he represented alternative news, dressed as a Marilyn Monroe with naked plastic, breast, like, open, and he turned to the laughing side, like in carnivalesque side, all the political news that's happened. And he represented, actually, in this book also represented. In the 2005, he made a series that was called Kremlin Stars. And he turned himself to Marilyn Monroe, Pope, and Mona Lisa, and Putin.
But where can we see some work today?
Today we have Vladik Mamshev-Monroe works at the State Russian Museum collection. There are some works in the private collection, and also there are works at the new museum, who actually
in St. Petersburg.
In St. Petersburg, where been organized an exhibition, The Life of Remarkable Monroe, and where we produced this book about Vladik Mamshev-Monroe. And we try to describe his life as a series of fairy tales. In a way, at that time, we had the fairy tales that followed one after another one, because it was like in an old sci-fi film, a stargate's been opened. Every empires, every historical times come together, and the time was so dense. Gosh, I'm so nostalgic about this time. I do not like to come back to this, post-Soviet, cruelty. Post-Soviet, I mean post-Soviet, almost like a Soviet cruelty.
And so he died in?
He died in 2013. He drowned in the swimming pool in Bali, and he was.
How old?
He was 42. He was 42.
Wow.
But he did a lot.